Hello and welcome to the Faith Report, on this episode of Spiritual Spotlight, where we explore what the Bible has to say about the world around us. Now, I am a Christian, but I don't believe there are such things as miracles. Okay, hear me out. I don't think there are such things as miracles in the way that many Christians believe there are miracles. Have you ever seen something happen that seemed completely and totally inexplicable, completely defying all scientific sense? Like, for example, a friend recovering from an illness in a way that doctors called medically impossible, or a wild sequence of coincidences aligning perfectly to answer someone's prayer? Well, we call those things miracles, surprises that awe and inspire us. But my question is, how do they actually happen? Are they just sleight of hand magic tricks by God, or is there some deeper mechanism at work behind the scenes here? To us mere mortals, miracles can seem as bewildering and confounding as the best magic tricks ever witnessed. But what if the key is that we're just mortal? We are limited by what we can perceive, constrained by 3 spatial dimensions and the march of time, unable to grasp the full picture. What if God's ability to perform miracles is less about suspending natural law and more about operating comfortably within nature's deeper instruction set? Nature, might I add, that he himself originally designed. Let's rewind a little bit, say a few centuries. Back then, something like a smartphone would have seemed incredibly magical, but in reality, these gadgets function fully within the bounds of natural law, guided by very intentional, structured design. Today's tech magic is yesterday's miracle. Perhaps God crafts awe-inspiring phenomena the way master engineers design devices, applying focused intent through deeper knowledge of the cosmos' architecture. I don't for 1 minute believe that God just magics things out of nothing. If you read the Bible properly, you'll start to understand that our God is a God of structure and meaning. Everything he does and says is done and said for a specific reason. And I think this view of the universal framework fits perfectly within the parameters of the character that God has demonstrated throughout the pages of the Bible. My view is that we struggle to scientifically explain miracles not because they break physics, but because they tweak it in dimensions way beyond our own perception. Picture our world as the simple, blocky graphics of a retro video game, quaint and very limited. Now, imagine the game engine running behind the scenes, vastly more complicated code and computations rendering these primitive pixels on our screens. Now, when we glitch the matrix through prayer and fasting, it's the Almighty God at the controller inputting commands that we can't even fathom in our wildest dreams. Now, take the miracle of Jesus walking on the stormy waves, for example. His followers thought it was sorcery, impossible. But what did Jesus say? "O ye of little faith." His power came not from suspending natural law, but fully embracing a reality more fundamental than his disciples ever imagined. But listen, just as God's miracles operate within deeper frameworks of natural laws, so too spiritual evil has structure and parameters ordained by the Creator. Dabbling in the demonic harnesses forces far beyond our comprehension. We were not meant to access such knowledge apart from through God. Just like a nuclear engineer from the year 3000 might forbid a medieval village from harnessing atomic energy. The villagers couldn't fathom concepts such as radioactive isotopes or critical mass or cumulative radiation poisoning, for example. Tampering with forces beyond their understanding could only invite catastrophe, however wondrous the technology may have seemed in the first place. And those technologies don't even have malevolent personalities. Perhaps one day, in the far, far distant future, science will better glimpse the intricate dimensions, particles and forces producing what we label as divine phenomena. We may discover that miracles operate within familiar wave functions or quantum entanglements over cosmic networks. But even a theory of everything will never fully encapsulate the infinite genius behind this spectacularly programmed multiverse. Our science only uncovers slivers of God's supreme logic undergirding all contingents. So, could seemingly spontaneous miracles have actual mechanisms working behind the curtain? I believe absolutely so. But that makes them no less awe-inspiring as signs that wake us to higher truth. God isn't some whimsical magician waving around a galaxy-sized wand. He's the consummate, rational engineer, artist, composer, orchestrating reality's deeper movements. The one who programmed existence itself. Celebrate the miracle not just as a mysterious gift, but as a window into transcendent reality far surpassing our wildest scientific imaginations.